They say freedom means living your life without someone else controlling it. But in my neighborhood, freedom was a word Karen, the HOA president, had never heard of. When I decided to move out of my house, my own house, she tried to stop me. She even called the police, claiming I needed her permission. What she didn't know was that my son is an FBI agent, and when he showed up, let's just say Karen picked the wrong family to mess with. When I first moved into Willow Creek, I thought I'd found my forever home. Quiet streets, trimmed hedges, kids riding bikes, neighbors waving. But behind that perfect picture was an HOA board run like a dictatorship. And the dictator, Karen, she was the self-appointed queen of the neighborhood, always walking around with a clipboard, snapping pictures of people's lawns, barking at kids to keep the noise down, and sending fines for ridiculous things like having a bird feeder or painting your shutters the wrong shade of beige. At first, I ignored her. Life's too short to fight over nonsense. But over time, the harassment became unbearable. She fined me when my son parked his car in the driveway instead of the garage. She threatened me because my grass grew half an inch higher than regulation. And the final straw? She demanded that I pay an exit fee if I ever wanted to move out. That's when I realized I had to leave. I put my house on the market quietly, without telling Karen. I didn't need her approval, and the HOA had no legal authority to stop me from selling. But somehow she found out. One evening, as I was carrying moving boxes to my car, she showed up with her usual smug look. "Where do you think you're going?" she snapped. I laughed. "Karen, I don't need your permission to move out." Her face turned red. "You absolutely do. HOA Bylaw 14C requires all sales to be approved by the board, and I'm the board president." I told her she was delusional and shut the door in her face. But deep down I knew this wasn't over. The next morning, as I loaded the last of my belongings, 2 police cruisers pulled into my driveway. The officers stepped out, serious looks on their faces. "Ma'am, we received a report of illegal property transfer and theft." I nearly dropped the box in my hands. "What? This is my house. I'm moving out. Nothing illegal here." Then Karen strutted up behind them, arms crossed like she just won the lottery. "Officers, this woman is violating HOA law. She cannot move until I approve it. She's stealing from our community." I expected the cops to laugh in her face. Instead, they asked me to sit down and show proof of ownership. Karen had filed a false report, making it look like I was breaking the law. That's when I made one phone call. My son Daniel had always told me, "Mom, if Karen ever goes too far, call me." I usually brushed it off. He was an FBI agent busy with bigger cases. But today, I needed him. Within 30 minutes, Daniel arrived, badge out, credentials flashing. "Is there a problem here?" he asked firmly. The officers looked at each other, suddenly unsure. Karen, however, smirked. "Finally, someone with authority. Arrest her. She's moving without permission." Daniel stared at her for a long moment. Then he burst out laughing. "Permission? To move out of her own home?" He turned to the officers. "Gentlemen, you've been manipulated. This is a civil matter at most, not criminal. And filing a false police report? That is a crime." Karen's smug smile disappeared. Daniel pulled out his tablet and showed the officers the actual HOA bylaws. Nothing, absolutely nothing, required Karen's approval for me to sell or move. Then he showed them the false complaint she filed. She hadn't just lied, she forged documents, claiming she was acting on behalf of the entire HOA board. The officers' faces hardened. "Ma'am, you need to come with us." Karen exploded. "You can't arrest me. I'm the HOA president. This whole community depends on me." But the more she yelled, the clearer it became. She wasn't just controlling. She was unstable. They cuffed her on the spot. As Karen was driven away, the neighborhood gathered outside. For years, they had been too scared to speak against her. Now they saw her being taken away in handcuffs. One neighbor whispered, "I didn't think anyone could stand up to her." Another said, Maybe now we can actually enjoy living here. I smiled, relieved. It wasn't just about moving out anymore. It was about taking back control of my life. My son put a hand on my shoulder. Mom, you're free now. She won't bother you again. Karen was charged with filing a false police report and document forgery. The HOA board immediately voted her out. Without her, the neighborhood actually started to feel like a community again. As for me, I finally moved into my new home without anyone's permission but my own. And I'll tell you this, no HOA, no Karen, no dictator in disguise will ever control my life again. 'Cause sometimes the best revenge is simply walking away free.